Hey all, Corey here. I just wanted to start out this video by saying that I love Indiana Jones. I grew up watching the original three movies all the time as a kid, and I absolutely adored Indiana Jones growing up. So anything Indiana Jones is very near and dear to my heart. So there was a game that I played growing up called Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. And the story of how I got this game, it was actually kind of interesting. I originally got this game at Costco. Yeah, Costco. I don't even know if they sell video games anymore, maybe a couple. But this was back when they had a big section of computer games at Costco in store. And I picked up Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. It came in a bundle called the Movie Collection. And this came with 3 games, which was Emperor's Tomb, 007 Nightfire, and Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds. Nightfire and Galactic Battlegrounds were also really great games. If I decide to do a review of that, I'll do that another time, but this is really going to focus on Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. Again, you know, Indiana Jones growing up, I loved the movies, I watched them all the time, so it was obviously very near and dear to my heart. And I grew up with this game as well, so I'm going to try my best to make this review as unbiased as possible and kind of give you an idea of my thoughts of the game. I played through it again today, and I will give you some of my thoughts on the game. Also keep in mind that I played this game primarily on PC. They have it on Steam now. I had the disc, but I got it on Steam. You can also get it on the Xbox Live Marketplace. It was available for PS2 as well. I didn't really play the PS2 version. Without getting too much into the plot, basically the game revolves around the artifact, the Heart of the Dragon, which this guy, Marshall Kai, who in the beginning is your friend, he is trying to pursue this Heart of the Dragon because whoever holds it wields immense power, and they can control the will of men. And there's another guy, Von Beck, this bad Nazi, that is working along with him too, and basically it's up to Indy to find this artifact before it falls into the wrong hands. So I can only really speak for PC here, but the controls were surprisingly straightforward. You move Indy around with WASD, jump and swim with the spacebar, attack with left mouse click, scroll through items with the mouse wheel, press E to shimmy, and so forth. There are also many objects in the game environment that you have to interact with in order to progress in the game, such as levers, switches, and pulleys. There are several puzzles you must interact with in the game, and although not too difficult in general, they can be annoying to deal with. Something else to mention is your whip. You will need to use it to get through multiple areas in the game. It's also a fun tool to disarm enemies, or even pull enemies in and then punch them, or to keep them away as well. You also have your revolver that you carry with you in the game, although ammo is hard to come by, and the game pushes you to use fist combat as much as possible. Of course, there are other guns in the game too that you can get from time to time. The combat system is surprisingly good, and you can use a combination of left and right hooks, grabbing and throwing the enemy, and more. There's also 3 artifacts per location in the game, so a total of 30. Some are more difficult to find than others. Spoiler alert, if you find all of them, you unlock a concept art gallery in the main menu, which is cool. There's about 1 boss for each location that you go to, and the bosses are not too difficult in general if you know what to do and how to get rid of them, but they do present a fair challenge. Something I want to point out, which others probably have in previous videos, is that there are no checkpoints in each level. So if you die, you have to start right back at the beginning where you started. Luckily, there is an easy, medium, and hard setting for the game, and I really think the only difference among these is that you take more damage with harder difficulties. I cannot tell you how many times I attempted to beat the Von Beck Digger level as a kid, probably hundreds. I really didn't find the final boss that difficult either. The last playthrough I did, I probably beat it in about 2 minutes. Now, as far as sound design goes, surprisingly good in this game. Of course, you have the general Indy theme, which is by John Williams, but the game's soundtrack is very, very good, and it really elicits the feeling of whatever you're doing in the game pretty well. Game composer Clint Bajakian, however you pronounce that, did the score for this game, and he did a great job in my opinion. From the adventuristic ambient noise of the jungle in Ceylon, to intense battle sequence music, to even just music that triggers when you open a secret door or passageway, it was all done very well with a John Williams-esque sound. The sound for the actors was okay in my opinion. The voice actor for Indiana Jones, while not spot on as a Harrison Ford likeness, is passable for me.
These guys are no Boy Scouts. I better watch my back.
Most of the other voice acting for NPCs and villains was fine, although sometimes the Nazi goons sounded a little off to me.
One filthy American and we're supposed to be scared? That von Beck Saloon.
Maybe we can play cards later, yeah?
Nine, you took all my money last time.
Just not entirely believable, but it works. When we're talking about graphics, looking back on the game now, I can say that it looks fairly decent, about what you would expect for an early 2000s adventure game. I'm not entirely sure if this game looks better on Xbox and PC than PS2, but I'm willing to wager so. Most of the environments, while often quite linear, do look pretty good, and there is a lot of detail in them. Fish will swim away when you get close, birds will fly by you when you get close as well, floors will collapse underneath you when you step in the right location, and most of the visuals are pretty seamless. That being said, some of the backgrounds in the levels are a bit dated. There's times when you can clearly tell that the background is kind of like a matte painting instead of being a three-dimensional area. There's even a few glitches the developers put into the game graphically, such as Indy's hat disappearing from his head when the game is paused, and a few other actions that make the game that much more enjoyable. Little Easter eggs, if you will. Overall, I really enjoyed this game growing up, and I still enjoy it to this day. I've beaten it countless times on every difficulty, and I still come back for more. Whether it is one of the better Indiana Jones games could be up for debate. I think Infernal Machine was a great game as well, and I have yet to play The Fate of Atlantis. If I had to give it a score, I think I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. Alright, so overall guys, I really enjoyed this game. Again, I played it all the time growing up, and I play it now, and I still have a lot of fun with it. It's not perfect, but it's tons of fun. So if you're looking for a old school adventure, action adventure game, then by all means check it out. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, and it would really mean a lot if you subscribed. I'd love to do more game reviews, that kind of thing. But anyway, thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you in the next one.